Hello and welcome back to Teacup Tarot. I hope you guys are doing really well and thriving wherever you are. That is in a way my prayer for you as well, that you thrive in life wherever you are, that you bloom where you are planted. Now in today's video we are looking into guidance from our shamanic ancestors, people who came before us, people who were far more knowledgeable than us, and people who knew the earth well. So their guidance really helps us in a way, because it's like they are the ones who paved the path for us to the point where we are right now, and it is their guidance which will help us in the future as well. See, understand this, they were more connected to Mother Earth, to the forces of nature, than we currently are, and it is best to get their advice in order for us to learn much more in our life, in our spirituality, in our spiritual path, which is why these videos happen to be my absolute favorite ones. Now I'll give you some time and then we'll start with pile 1. Hello, and if you've picked pile 1, then these are the messages that are coming forth from your shamanic ancestors. Now, the very first message for you is that you are much more capable, that you're much more stronger than you give yourself credit for. But the kind of strength you have, it is a gentle strength, and sometimes what happens is, even though you have the strength, you may find yourself as slightly weak. You may feel like you cannot do it, or maybe the fact that you have to do this all on your own becomes very difficult for you. But at those very points, they are reminding you that you are not alone. You have them, you have their energy with you, and they are going to make sure that you don't end up alone doing whatever it is that you're doing. And they are here to tell you that whatever plans you have for your life, they are going to happen for you. You are going to have the security that you seek. You are going to have the life that you seek. But you need to understand to calm down. It is important for you to go with the flow, to understand that things take time sometimes, and the fact that they are taking time is a sign that right now may not be the right time for you to realize all your dreams, but everything will happen when the cycle is right, when the time is right. The things that are meant for you have your name on it, because see, things that are destined, they happen no matter what. So whatever is carved out for you, it is going to come into your life, but at divine timing. Also, what is important here is to protect yourself, is to protect your energies, because what happens is sometimes there is this fragmentation of energy that happens. Like sometimes you feel like things are getting too much. Sometimes you feel like, your intuitions are very strong, you know what to do. It's almost like there is this psychic push for you which tells you, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this. And in order for that to continue, firstly, protect those energies, nurture those energies. Again, the use of lapis lazuli is something that I really would like to encourage you in your daily life, okay? That's something that's coming for you. Either way, whatever is meant to be is going to come, but it may take time. It's all according to the divine time. Because what is happening for you, pile 1, is certain things are being moved out of your life. So whatever it is that you want to come in, the fresh experiences, they can only come in when you have finally put the past to end, like you finally put a full stop. But till the point you keep revisiting the past, the future that is destined for you will not come. And even if it comes, you will not be able to accept it and handle its blessing in the best way possible. So what is happening, instead of taking you to your future, instead of taking you directly to your destiny, there is this kind of a divine detour that is happening, and this detour is only to teach you that you are not ready. There is some work that needs to be done, but as soon as the work is done, as soon as the time is just right for you to understand those blessings, to accept those blessings, and for you to enjoy those blessings, things are going to come into your experience like that. Like you'll blink an eye and things will be crystal clear for you. Also, there is a lot of abundance that is waiting for you in your life, but there are some things in you which sort of push that abundance. Okay, that's something that I see as well. Again, it is very important for you to get yourself in alignment, and sometimes being close to like a power place, like a very powerful earthly place, where there you have a ground where you can go and meditate among forest, among rivers, any place which you feel has like a spiritual connection, you know, that strong ancestral connection, you are being asked to go to that place, meditate, speak your heart out, do a ritual, because that will help you a lot. That will help your heart in a way, is what I'm getting here. But visiting some old places, especially places where your ancestors lived or places where they worshipped, is coming through very, very strongly for you. Now again, what I get here is, you know, there is this goddess energy that is showing up in your life, okay? Probably a goddess or a force of nature, okay, that your ancestors worshipped, and you are being asked to take the worship of this force, a goddess, a god, whatever, very seriously. Because what happens is, you know, every god or every goddess that is a part of our heritage is almost like the grandmother of the family. You know, she has the responsibility of taking care of you, and you are being asked to surrender yourself to that force. Now you need to take a look at your ancestry, probably speak to your mother, your grandmother, and really ask them if that was something that you are aware of or they are aware of, and take that worship seriously. Take into account that that god or goddess's energy is going to be of greatest assistance for you in your future, and in order for all of your plans in the future to succeed, is also something that's coming forth for you. Now again, what I sense here, you know, there is a lot that you need to let go of. Like there are a lot of burdens that you're carrying that you need to let go of. One more thing, you know, for you pile 1, you are very closely linked to an ancestral member, and I get that this is a male member of your family. Like you just have a very close bond with this energy, okay? I'm calling this an energy because you've not met this person. Like probably this person passed away before you were born. But what is happening here is there is something that was unresolved in his life, and you are sort of resolving it for him, is what is coming forth. So in a way, you are sort of responsible for not only your spiritual journey but for his spiritual journey as well. So whatever it is that he couldn't complete in his lifetime, he is sort of, you know, completing it through you, is what is coming forth, which again reminds me of that goddess energy coming through very strongly. So ensure that you learn about this, and maybe that will sort of help clear up the path for you, is what is coming forth for you. Like working out karma on his behalf is another message that is coming on very, very strongly with him. Now what is coming forth is, as in this lifetime, okay, in a way, what I sense is, you know, your connection with your own family, of course it's there, nobody can deny it, but you are almost going to start a new heritage. Like there is this distinction between the family that you're born in and the family that you will create for yourself, and this is almost like, you know, you are going to be the head of the next lineage, is what I'm seeing. So whatever you do now is going to be very, very important. See, what happens is every ancestor, like everything they've done, everything they've experienced, you know, all of their spirituality gifts, every spiritual practice that they have, it carries on to us. But for you, what is happening is it's ending and it's beginning. So whatever practices you begin now, the generations that come after you will follow. So please ensure you're being aware of it and are very conscious when it comes to creating these new practices. You know, creating these new traditions is what is coming forth for you. Now again, what I sense is, you know, there is this connection, there is again this sense of you having to trace back to the past, you having to go back to a place and sort of see how your ancestors lived, see how this one particular ancestor lived, the goddess he worshipped, the god he worshipped, and what were his spiritual beliefs. Because what I sense is, if you sort of keep on the track of worshipping what he was doing, like his work, if you sort of keep putting it forward, you know, if you take that into practice in the future, firstly he will be very grateful to you, and what will happen is it will sort of, you know, take your family out of certain blockages is also something that I see. Because what I sense is, especially this ancestor, he may have passed away rather tragically, is what I see. Okay, now see what happens is, when somebody passes away tragically, it's almost like a life ended abruptly, and then your responsibility, maybe because you are very very strongly spiritually grounded, this person chose you to carry on his life's work, to carry on his spiritual work in the future. So tracking back to his childhood, tracking back to his life is again going to be very very important for you. And again, what I sense is, your job is to piece all the things together. It's like your job is like to weave the past into the future. You know what I mean? It's like, you are in a very powerful position. Like, imagine a cloth that is, torn into two pieces. Like, you're stitching it, but again you're bringing forth a new cloth and you're adding it into the experience. Okay, so this is you living his life, carrying forth his legacy into the future, and your own legacy with it. Okay, it's like taking the best from him and bringing forth your own. Okay, so this is like you bringing forth generations together in an entirely new and powerful way, is what is coming forth for you. Either way, I have to say, pile 1, you have a huge responsibility, but understand this, and this is something that I know for sure without a doubt. Any ancestor who comes through to one specific family member, that family member is a very very advanced spiritual souls, because an ancestor chooses. That's something we believe in our Indian culture, and the chosen one has a great amount of responsibility, and they have the responsibility because out of the entire family, they are the ones who are the most capable of this job and responsibility. Yeah, remember that. Either way, this person has chosen you because you are strong and they believe in you, and of course they're blessing you every step of the way. Yeah, and it's a huge spiritual practice, but it is going to be so rewarding in the end, that you're setting him free in a way. You know how strong that is. That is just the most beautiful thing ever is. Okay, wow, this is your message, pile 1, and yes, it's incredible, and I sincerely pray that God blesses you with all the infinite blessings, and God, my spirit guides, all the beings of light around me, bless you and assist you in your journey forward. That is my sincere wish for you, pile 1. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Hello, and if you've picked pile 2, these are the message from your shamanic ancestors for you today. Let's look at what messages they have for you. Now, you are being asked, pile 2, to just surrender to your journey. See, one part of your life path, what I sense is to be okay with your journey, even if it does not match your expectation, if it does not match the expectation of other, or the speed at which your life is going is not equivalent to the speed of others. And honestly, don't let yourself be shaped by the world, is what your ancestors are here to tell you. Like, you are the person they are most proud of, because you are the one who's going to do things differently, who has the courage to live a different life. You are the one who has the courage to walk a different path and to walk towards an entirely new destiny, is what is coming forth for you. So they are in fact encouraging you to really explore yourself, to explore the dimensions that are now going to be open in front of you. They are asking you not to surrender to the path of the world, but to create your own path. That is what is coming forth for you. They are telling you to trust your intuition. They are telling you to trust your own stars, to understand that you, out of all of the people in your family, are most capable of an authentic destiny, a destiny that you will write for your own self, is what is coming forth. Now, pile 2, this another message that I get is your life is not meant to be like anybody else's. It's not going to be. It is not going to fit into any kind of a compartment, and you have to learn learn to be okay with it. Sometimes you may feel like the ride is bumpy, sometimes you may feel like it's easy breezy, but it's your own journey. If you learn to enjoy it, it'll make the process easier for you, is what your ancestors are here to tell you. Okay, you are the wild one and you have to embrace that wild side of yours. Yeah. Again, part of what I sense here is, you are like different. In a sense, you do not belong with your family. You do not belong with any kind of a family, any specific family, because you are going to be the people who create your own family, who create the dynamics of your own family, are in a way going to go against the grain, is what is coming forth for you. And they are asking you to explore life, to explore a different way of living. Again, for a couple of you, this could be, living on your own. This is like living far away from family. This is like moving to an entirely different place and calling it home, away from your family. Because I sense in a way, pile 2, it is your soul's desire that always tells you, home is somewhere else. Home is somewhere else. Where I am right now, I do not belong. So that is like the narrative you already have, and your ancestors are in fact here to tell you, you are exactly right. You do not belong here. You belong to an entirely different dimension of being. Your way of thinking is very different because you are guided by them, is what is coming forth. Okay, the sense I get here is, probably you are the only one who listens to them. Like, you are probably the only one who is open to listening to their voice, is also something that is coming through very strongly. Again, you are the one who's inherited a lot of their traits, is also what is coming forth. If you can, and if there are people available in your life who've known about your ancestors, maybe your great grandmother, your great grandfather, or even the people before that, because there are some traits that you have that these people had too, and because of which maybe your connection with them is strong and they come across more to you than to others. What I also sense is a part of your spiritual team, a part of your spiritual guide are also your ancestors. Especially 2 ancestors is what I'm getting here, because they are the ones who are constantly with you. Okay, now I don't know if you guys owned land previously, like your family owned land. So the spirit of that land is also one of like your guardian spirits, is what I'm getting here. So please go back to your family and see if there is ownership of a land, and just look into details of that, because that land spirit is also very much with you and protecting you and helping you navigate life, is also something that is coming through very strongly. Now, one thing that's coming forth here is, see, for you, your emotions pile too. Like, probably there are times in your life, and there will be times in your life where you will be misunderstood. Okay, where you feel like, I am trying to say this like plain as day, I know what I'm intending to say, but for some reason people are not trying to understand me, and this will sort of make you really angry. It's because the language you speak, people don't understand. It's plain and simple as that. It is not because you do something, but when a person is different, when a person's thinking pattern is different, when the spirit of a person is very, very different, these things happen. And it causes you grief, it causes you anger, it causes you to be bitter, and which is very, very natural. So what your ancestors are here to tell you is, it is okay to feel angry. Anger is in fact a positive emotion if channeled in a way that is appropriate. Okay, whenever you feel angry, ask yourself why you're feeling that particular way. What part of you is being triggered? See, it is important for you to note down your trigger point. See, whenever a person has a trigger point, a consistent trigger point, sometimes other people sort of take advantage of it, and in your case it is very important that you don't let that happen. All right, that's very, very important for you. So your ancestors are here to tell you, make sure to take a note of the trigger point and don't let that become a weak point for you. Okay, that is one message that I really have for you. Now, your ancestors give you signs and symbols every day, and in fact what they're telling is the messages are clear as day. only your job is to understand them. You know, when sometimes you get that niggling thought like, okay, you know, you're constantly getting it, and even though you don't want to listen to that advice and it still continues, that is their voice. You know, they are here to guide you. So please pay attention anytime you feel like certain guidance is coming again and again and again. They are here to tell you to please pay attention to it, because they sort of guide you against making wrong choices is also coming forth for you. I also see in the future you are going to be having your own property. Okay, that's coming through very, very strongly. But they want to help you to get one that is just right for your spirit, that is just right for your energy. Note that, okay? Just make sure you write that. And whenever you get this new property, let me know, because it's going to be a magical place. So if that is somehow on your mind, pile 2, then pay attention to the signs, because you will exactly know when you found the right one. So that is something that they are going to try. They're trying to tell you basically. And remember that the place that you're going to live near is going to be very close to water. Okay, water or water body. Just keep a note of it. Okay, you may need it into the future. Also, what is important for you here is to pay attention to the kind of work you're doing, because one, your work is very meaningful and your work is something that the world needs. So in order for you to do something that's meaningful, you need to actually give it a lot of time. You need to practice it properly. Like, in a way, whatever it is that you're doing in your life currently, you know, it is meant to be a life's work. So if you feel like the job that you are in currently is not meaningful enough for you, it is something that you're only doing because it is a job, you are being asked to move away from it, because anything that you do not enjoy doing, pile 2, is going to be meaningless for you, and in the long run you're going to end up regretting it. So they are asking you to be true to yourself and only commit to those things that your heart and your soul are in complete alignment with. Okay, because your work, your specific work, is not only going to be important to you, but it is also going to be important to a lot of people who come after you as well. Okay, so that is something that's coming forth again for you. You know, moving to a different place, moving to a different location is very, very strong on the cards for you. And especially in the next 2 years, if you sort of get an opportunity to move to a different place, move to a different home, different city, be open to it. Okay, that's something that's coming through very, very strongly. And your ancestors are here to remind you that you are not alone. In fact, you are born after a lot of prayers is also something that I'm getting here. You know, possibly for your family to have you is a blessing here, because what is happening is probably you are one member of the family who is more spiritually connected than others. See, different people have different stages of spiritual practice, but what I sense is the kind of commitment you have towards spirituality, nobody else in your family has that commitment. So in a way, you are that person who is like a great blessing to your family, and your ancestors are really acknowledging that, right? So your birth, your place in the world right now, the kind of work you're doing in the world right now at this point of time is almost divinely orchestrated, and you are also divinely guided on your journey. Once again, let me remind you, if you're not enjoying what you're doing in terms of your work, you are being asked to shift to doing something that you feel is like your life purpose, something that you could do day in, day out and still enjoy it 100%. Okay, that's also coming through very, very strongly from your ancestors. Either way, be true to yourself. Enjoy being you, even if sometimes you don't understand yourself. It's okay. In the end, the dot will connect. In the end, you will get all the answers that you seek. Okay, be open to all experiences and be open to new experiences is something that I really, really want to encourage you to do. Pile 2. Overall, those are the lessons for you, the messages for you from your shamanic ancestors, and I wish and pray the very, very best for you. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Hello, and if you've picked pile 3, these are your messages from your shamanic ancestors. Let me tell you, first of all, pile 3, you have the opportunity to alter your destiny. If you feel like there are some things in your life that are written down on stone, I am here to tell you that your ancestors are telling you that that is not the case. You have the capacity to alter your destiny if you just choose to select one path to walk on and keep walking that path. Because what I see for you, pile 3, is that in your spiritual life, you probably change your path too often, or you change your spiritual practices too often. Like one day you're walking this path, second day you leave it because something else calls to you. You are asked to stick to one practice for the rest of your life, because what happens is, for you, pile 3, you go round and round. Like one day you believe in this, the second day you believe in that. Have that firm grounding in terms of your spiritual beliefs, because what is necessary here in order for you to alter things in your life is to be in alignment with your chakras, to be in alignment with the source energy, and that will only happen with a consistent spiritual practice. If not anything else, just focusing on your breath is a spiritual practice enough. Okay, thinking of a god, goddess, a path, whatever it is that speaks to you, but stick to one thing, because if you can manage to stick to one thing, you will reach great levels in your life, is what is coming forth for you. Because what will happen is, as you continue to walk that one path, especially for you, pile 3, what's important here is to walk a path that your ancestor had walked on. So maybe this is like praising one particular god or a deity or a force, whatever it is, that may be the path that is most right for you. Because what will happen is, as you consistently walk on that path, the kind of blessings that will open up for you, the kind of understanding you will get about your life and situations will be so much more different. See, what is important for you to understand, pile 3? Firstly, your mission is always connected with a lot of people on the planet. Okay, your mission is not for yourself. And pile 3, you guys are always magical, and you guys are always people who influence people around you. So you have to be very, very conscious of that. Okay, it's almost like you are the person who's responsible for an entire community here. So you have a huge amount of burden that you have to carry, and like I said, you have the capacity to alter fate, you have the capacity to alter destiny. So be very, very careful about the path that you're taking forward, is something that's coming through for you. You are like that mother energy. I am so not surprised here. Like you are like that one energy, you are like this one umbrella, and people are under your roof. In fact, in the future as well, what I sense is there will be a lot of people who will be so attracted to you, so attracted to your wisdom, and they'll naturally gravitate towards you. This can of course be your own family members, this can be your friends, or this can be complete strangers. It happens sometimes, we meet somebody and we love their energy so much and we just want to be with that person always. That is the kind of energy you have. So anytime a person has that kind of energy, they have to be very, very specific about their own spiritual practice. Again, it is very important for you, pile 3, that whenever you go outside, especially when you're meeting new people, to surround yourself with this pale lavenderish kind of an energy, just to protect yourself, to protect your aura and protect your spiritual inclination. Okay, that's very, very important for you. Because what happens is, of course, people get attracted to you, all kinds of people get attracted to you, and sometimes they end up feeling really good, but you end up feeling miserable. And in order for you to sort of forget that, and for it not to happen in the future, make sure you're really surrounding yourself with this protective layer of protection, is something that's coming through very strongly. You have to understand that energy vampires are going to be drawn to you in the future as well, so be mindful of that. Okay, see, what's happening for you here is, it's very clear, you are like that source right in the middle. Like your ancestors connect with you, you have the spirit which connects with you, and it's like you're a medium between two worlds, between your world and the world of people. And a person like you then has a very, very powerful destiny. Okay, so for you, what I sense is, here you are carrying the burden of two worlds. One is the world of the earthly plane, and the second is the plane of your ancestors here. Okay, so you are the connection, and it is your job to keep both worlds happy. So one thing that I really want to encourage you to do, pile 3, is to have a consistent practice towards your ancestors. This can be like honoring them at your table every single year on a specific day, or planting a tree in their memory and watering that tree every day, or just lighting a candle out for them on specific days. A specific ritual for them that you can think of. Okay, so that balancing of those energies can happen very, very strongly. See, when it comes to our ancestors, one thing that they really want is not to be forgotten, for their message not to be forgotten, and it is your job to ensure that it happens. Okay, now how you do it is something that I leave to you on your own spiritual path. Okay, but do something for them is something that I'll really tell you. In your life, pile 3, there will be ups and downs. In fact, I sense there have been a lot of ups and downs, but understand it. The reason why they happen is because you are sort of that mediator between two worlds. So unless you learn to manage your own energies wisely, this kind of a period of darkness and light will keep happening. It is important for you to find your alignment right, to keep the spirit world, that is the world of your ancestors, happy. And as that world is happy, your own world will be a reflection of that happiness. See, when it comes to our ancestors, if they are unhappy with something, if there is something that they feel they haven't been able to do in this lifetime, it sort of works havoc on the family. And this may have happened to you in some time in the past, but understand, as you sort of balance the karma out with them, as you honor them time up and again, your life will end up becoming easier, and your life will end up becoming much more blessed. Okay, so they are almost coming forth to you to remind you to set a place for them in your house, in your spiritual practice. Okay, that's one message from them that I sense. Again, it's very important for you to take care of your energies, pile 3. Very, very important. And in fact, you are going to be people who are going to be needing a lot of breaks from certain spiritual practices as well. So if you feel like you're walking a path, you're walking a consistent spiritual path, and sometimes you are like, I am tired, don't push yourself too much, because everybody needs a break, and sometimes we need a break from a spiritual life too, and it's okay. Sometimes I do that too. There are days I'm like, nope, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do anything, I'm just going to be like a regular human being and just enjoy the earthly life. And I do that, and you are being asked to just do that as well. So if you feel like you need a break, you need to do something other than what you're currently doing on your spiritual path, you can do that. But once again, I don't mean this in the sense of trying out different practices. I mean this as a break from spirituality entirely. Okay, give yourself what you need, and once again, take care of your energies. Okay, I feel like you need to really take some time off, like go off on a retreat, take a holiday, but that little bit of a disconnection from high level energies is something you need. See, what is happening for you is you are almost like a satellite which brings across signals from different dimension to the earthly plane. So that is you, and of course it's a hugely energy losing kind of a job. Okay, so whenever you feel like that is happening, just disconnect, ground yourself, just have fun, watch a movie, do something that is not related to any spiritual practice, but make yourself happy. Try and not be so serious all the time. Okay, just have fun sometimes. Watch cat and dog videos, because come on, they're the best. Okay, so that's something that's coming through here as well. Now, your ancestors, especially your spiritual ancestors, what I'm getting here is you've had a shaman in your family. You have a shaman in your family, and that shamanic gene has sort of missed generations in between, like probably 2 generations, 3 generations. This gift wasn't there and it has come to you. Okay, so this is like a sudden continuation of something that was left halfway. That's what I sense for you. Okay, so please look into your family's list, see if there was a shamanic member, see if there was somebody who was into shamanic and spiritual practices, because that is what I see for you guys. See, understand, anytime we follow what our families did, what our older people did, what our ancestors did, it just makes our job easier. Because know this, when it comes to ancestors, There is no such thing as little knowledge. As much as we can understand about them, as much as we can understand about their life and their life experiences, there will be so much for us to learn. Like, trust me, like, there are certain things that I have learned about my family from my history. In fact, I actually traveled to the places where my ancestors were living, and the kind of things I learned about them, the kind of things I learned about the places that we owned, like, it just opened my eyes to a lot of things that later happened in our family. Okay, so maybe that is something that will happen to you as well. So get to know your family members, get to know your ancestors, because I do sense they really want to come out and talk to you. Okay, that is what I sense for you. So please look into your history, because all the answers that you seek about your ancestors, about your life path ahead, lies in your past. Okay, that's what's coming through for you, pile 3. Either way, those are your messages from your shamanic ancestors and your guides, and I pray that you find as much as you can about your history, and blessings come upon you, your family, and everybody that you love. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.